Cool. So speaking of the city and of Jason Lally, our next presentation will be Jason Lally talking about AdoptADrain, a project that the brigade is seeking to, or is developing a relationship with the city to build. But no, please come up. The only other thing I had to say is just who's on deck. Judy Brown from Civic Makers is on deck.
Thank you very much. So I'll try to make this really quick. I only have 2 slides, and we're just going to do a quick demo. But I'll first frame the problem and maybe tell a little bit of the story. I'm kind of standing in Jean Walsh doesn't happen to be here tonight, does she? Okay. Jean Walsh is with the Public Utilities Commission at the City and County of San Francisco. I'm the Open Data Program Manager. We've worked with Jesse Suedo and Jesse Baroshak, lots of Jessies, and a number of others, Trent, to essentially take a product that was built several years ago in Boston called AdoptADrain and repurpose it for San Francisco. Now, in Boston, what they were doing was when it snowed, fire hydrants would get covered. If there were fires, that was a problem, so you could adopt a fire hydrant, you could dig it out when it snowed. We don't have a lot of snow in San Francisco, but we do, this year in particular, we were getting a lot of rain. And so what happens in San Francisco is we have about 25,000 drains, and those drains sometimes get clogged, and you can very easily just remove the detritus, and then they're no longer clogged. So it's a really simple act, but if you don't take it, it can, soon enough, it can actually back up the drains. Now, the city has a lot of resources on this and is constantly monitoring this, and there are people out there that are doing this. But it was also viewed as a way to take these objects, you know, in the physical space and engage people around adopting civic infrastructure. So now, Jean Walsh, who's in the communications division of PUC, has another communication channel to talk to people. There are analytics on this, so they can see where people are coming from, right? So it's not just about, you know, clearing the drains, because it's not always going to rain, but it's also about getting awareness about this infrastructure. So if you want to click through real quick, it's very simple. Again, it's all it was. This was already deployed. We changed it. We added, you know, we made some customized it a bit. But basically, there's a point for every drain. Those drains were loaded from the Open Data Portal. And I'm going to tell you about an opportunity that will be really interesting for the right people, because it's sort of the next iteration of this. So basically, there's a set of drains. You have drains that go to the sewer and drains to the ocean and bay. This is actually something that came out of our work with PUC. This is actually a really important thing about educating people about the differences. You have combined sewers. They go into treatment, and then they go out into the ocean. You have others that go, not many, but you do have some that go right into the ocean without treatment. And so getting awareness about what that means is very important to them. So when you find those drains, and they're out in Mission Bay mostly, and I think Bayview, there's a little call to action, like, what is this drain? So it's about adoption, clearing the drains, but also about building awareness about the system that is very invisible to most folks. So you can log in, and we're not going to log in now. Just trust me, it works. You can click on Learn More about adopting a drain, and it will give you a little. Let's go right here. Oh, are you gonna? You're gonna log in? Okay, fine. So you can look. There's one of Jesse's drains that he's adopted. So when you're logged in, you can see what's adopted by you. You can zoom in to the ones that you've adopted. You'll get a list of them. This is actually all code that Jesse contributed a lot to, and others. Basically, that's it. Now, where are we going? What's next? So one thing that was really cool that came out of this is someone said, oh, my drain's not there anymore. Well, it turns out that sometimes the city paves over drains. Drains move, and they get updated in the data set, but maybe they don't go to the app, right? So we're working next with the Department of Public Works to actually automate the data feed to the Open Data Portal. And then, once that's done, which it will be done in the next month or so, then people can actually write a little code to make sure it automates from the portal to here. What's cool about that is you could imagine a feedback loop where you say, this drain's missing. And it actually gives you information, and that person can, the person who's responsible for that can actually update it. So it creates this nice little feedback loop that's not just about managing the drains themselves and the floods, but actually like keeping the data fresh, keeping it up to date. That's actually pretty cool, and that's a pretty cool opportunity. So we'll go to what do I need? And what we need on the next slide. So I bolded the top two, project manager and a Rails engineer. Nice to have, but we can get these in lots of other ways. But like these are the ones that are going to drive the project. And then, of course, we want user research. But hopefully we can get that through other means. And we want front an engineer. And if you're interested, just join us on Slack on the channel AdoptADrain. Just drop a little note. I don't know if anyone's told people about Slack yet, but somebody will. All right. Thanks a lot.